How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Ruffle Rowlett and welcome back to a brand new video, guys. So we've got ourselves some brand new rumors for both the DLC for Pokemon Sword and Shield, Isle of Armor and Crown Tundra, which are actually going to be releasing very soon, at least the Isle of Armor is. But we also have some rumors for other stuff, such as Diamond and Pearl remakes in the future. So I thought we'd talk about all that, as well as a potentially real leak that has come out, and all of that in this one video. So keep in mind, first we're going to go through the rumors themselves, read through them, and then we're going to discuss them in the second half of the video. But before we do any of that, a word from our sponsor. This video is brought to you by today's sponsor, Frag Pro Shooter, the best shooter game of 2020 for your mobile devices. With more than 30 million players, you can enjoy amazing first and third person combat in this mobile video game. The rules are straightforward: destroy the enemy bunkers as fast as you can, access the tower, and destroy it to claim victory. But how do you win? Well, by collecting characters, which there are more than 80 of for you to choose from, and all whom have unique roles and powers. For example, like Crystal, that has the abilities Ice Hand and Stalactite Dive, and is an attacking type. Then build your deck of your favorite characters for a team of 5, and use your deck and show off your awesome strategy of either attacking or defending to claim victory in battle. The game also has an awesome new 2v2 mode where you and a friend can jump in and battle 2 other players. You choose 3 characters from your deck and your partner gets the other 3, and you head into battle together. So what are you waiting for? Start playing Frag Pro Shooter today. If you check the description, you get a free reward, only thanks to our special link in the description of 1 gold chest, 500 coins, as well as 50 diamonds worth $6 in value. Thanks to FPS Pro Shooters for sponsoring, and now let's get into the rest of the video. Alright, so one of the first rumors we have here is basically that of returning Pokemon. This was posted by Anonymous, but what is interesting is this was posted on the 13th of May, and what's really crazy is that this rumor essentially confirmed a bunch of returning Pokemon before we even got the most recent trailer. As you may remember, we had a trailer for, Pokemon Isle of Armor as well as Crown Tundra very recently, showing off a bunch of returning Pokemon. Some of these were, for example, like Luxray is one of those that's returning that was in the trailer. I think also Cryogonal was in the trailer, as well as Mienfoo, Mienshao, as well as Druddigon. So these are some of the Pokemon that we didn't really know about prior, but we now essentially got confirmed through this trailer, and there's a bunch more, and you can go through the full list. But a friend of mine, aka Mudkip Memo, actually went through and noticed that, yeah, a lot of these things seem connected. Like, a lot of Pokemon in this list here, in this rumor, seem to make a lot of sense. So this could be a potential leak, like an actually potential real leak, which would mean that something's going on over at Game Freak and they've let some information slip. Next, however, is a Diamond and Pearl rumor. This one also comes to us from Anonymous, and this was posted on the 9th of June. This was posted not too long ago, just a few days ago, and it says Diamond and Pearl Remakes 2021. Now, as you know, we've already speculated, all of us, that 2021 is going to bring us brand new remakes, as there are a lot of things that are pointing towards this, with hints within like Sword and Shield to Diamond and Pearl, and loads of those connections. But here's what this rumor says, though. So, Diamond and Pearl Remakes coming to the Switch in early 2021, and a DLC for it will be coming in late 2021. So again, this makes sense. Early like 2021 though, not really sure about that. As for DLC happening, seems logical if the success of, the Isle of Armor and Crown Tundra is massive. It makes sense that they're also going to bring out DLC for remakes. It just seems like it's going to make sense, as a business decision for them, but that's that. So the names are Eternal Diamond and Infinite Pearl. These to me actually sound reasonable. In like Eternal Diamond and Infinite Pearl, they sound decent. It doesn't sound like it's too difficult to say or difficult to remember. And that's the most important part, because keep in mind, right, the thing with like something like Oras is that it's easy to remember, like Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire. It's easy to remember. You want to make sure with Pokemon games that they're always easy to say and remember, and these actually are easy to remember and say. Next, Dynamax and Gigantamax are worked into the lore. Okay, interesting. Saying that the meteors in Veilstone City are from when the Darkest Day happened. That could be strange, and I wonder how they would actually implement that well, but fair enough. All the new Gigantamax forms are the starters: Staraptor, Luxray, Floatzel, Garchomp, Lucario, Roserade, Weavile, Rotom, Lopunny, Spiritomb, Bronzong, Honchkrow, Mismagius, Rampados, Bastiodon, Abomasnow, Skuntank, Purugly, Toxicroak, Drapion, Hippowdon, Vespiquen, Dialga, Palkia, Giratina, Arceus, and Darkrai. Now, these are all the top Pokemon from Generation 4. Like, these are all the number 1 top tier Pokemon that everybody loves, essentially. So, Yeah, I think these would be the perfect Pokemon to give these sort of, Gigantamax forms for. This actually makes a lot of sense. Like, these are definitely the Pokemon, the top tier Pokemon that I think would need, to get these sort of forms. Now, he continues to saying the features are back, such as the contests and underground, but there is tutorials for all of them, which I hope are not too long or too, drawn out. They say here, Pokemon can follow you, but only in Amity Square and the Pokemon Mansion. That is interesting, but also a little bit disappointing, I will say, because it would be fun if we had just, following Pokemon back in general. He continues, the Great Marsh functions the way it does. So the Great Marsh is back, using items to catch Pokemon instead of battling, but it also is a wild area with raid dens where you can move the camera. So that could be interesting. Now, HMs are not coming back. That's interesting. DLC adds Platinum Mythical Events. Now, I wonder about the HMs though, but we're going to talk about that later. DLC adds Platinum Mythical Events, full Battle Frontier, just Battle Tower in the base game, and second wild area off to the side of Sinnoh. Sinohyan forms, geez, that's a hard word to say, are a thing, but as it's a remake, there isn't too many. I know for a fact the whole Pichu line get one, but I don't know what other Pokemon get one. So Pichu, it says Pichu, does it mean Pikachu then is going to get a brand new form, which would be interesting. That's all I've got now. We'll post more as I get more information, is what he says. So that is the rumor we read right there. Now we have the final rumor that we're going to look at. Now this one starts off pretty weird though, and that's the fact that he claims that these are actual leaks, which never really tends to, bode well whenever you're reading a rumor. But here's what he says. The recent trailer pretty much showed everything for Isle of Armor. It's basically the one quest of go here and watch a cutscene and takes an hour to beat. Then it's slightly bigger wild area in it. So that's what he's trying to say. Now, is that true? I mean, possibly. We have really just mostly seen already what's going to be in the Isle of Armor, and I think that he's right about the whole cutscene thing. It seems like it's logically what we're going to get with at least the Isle of Armor. The Crown Tundra, though, is what I'm more interested about. And he says here, Crown Tundra is larger, both in story and wild area scale, as well as replayability. When you arrive in the Crown Tundra, you'll be welcomed by a random legendary bird who you fight. The other two birds interrupt, then Calyrex stops them fighting and makes you fall asleep. You wake up in Peony's house, him and his daughter having found you on an expedition. When you explain what happens, he urges you to join in his exploration team, as he's been researching the legendary birds in the Crown Tundra. After the main story, Peony will give you daily missions to find items, catch specific Pokemon, and eventually find more legendary Pokemon to earn more points in the exploration team, which can be exchanged for TMs, items, etc. Sounds actually pretty cool. Like, that to me sounds like a cool little post-game thing. Then he says, Calyrex has another form, where the bud on its head opens and drapes around him like a cape. His legs become larger and his rabbit head now has antlers that form, from the shape of a crown. That actually makes sense. That sounds reasonable. He says here, Part 3, the Cinder Citadel. Ooh, that sounds like such a cool name. The Cinder Citadel sounds awesome. Will release next February as part of Pokemon Day, and is set in an island off the west of Galar with rolling hills and castles, where a strange group enlists you to piece together the mystery of a fabled dragon that mysteriously vanished hundreds of years prior. This to me, genuinely sounds awesome. Like, this right here, this rumor is probably one of my favorite rumors, just the way it sounds. And the crazy thing is, I'm willing to believe this one more. Even though he calls it actual leaks, I just want to believe it more because it just sounds like what I want the DLC to sort of be like. Now, not the Isle of Armor part, because I would love the Isle of Armor to be better and bigger and crazier, and have more features in it. But if this is all we get, honestly, I'm kind of content with it. So now that we have gone through the rumors and sort of broken them down one at one, let's now kind of talk a bit more in depth about them and just give my thoughts on them. So first is the rumor of all the returning Pokemon. Now, first things first, this one is the most realistic one out of all the ones we've just read in this video. The reason I mentioned that is because these are correct. They've gotten these Pokemon right. They actually got so many Pokemon, and this was before the recent trailer. They got so many Pokemon correct. So it feels like this is highly possible that this is real and this is going to happen. Because again, getting Luxray right, getting Druddigon, getting, so many different Pokemon correct is interesting. But also what's interesting is he does include at the end here a lot of Gen 7 Pokemon, as well as the Gen 7 Ultra Beasts. So you've got Nihilego, Buzzwole, Formosa, Xurkitree, Celesteela, Kartana, Guzzlord, etc. You've got all these included here as well, which is interesting to me because that may, actually make a lot of sense, because we've seen some hints towards that within the coding of Sword and Shield. So it is a potential, but that's that one though. Next was the Diamond and Pearl rumor. Now this one to me is intriguing because I like the name, Eternal Diamond and an Infinite Pearl. They actually sound pretty awesome and they make sense with each other, right? You know, with like infinite makes sense with space because there's like almost infinite space, right? And eternal makes sense with diamond because, you know, of time, right? Like being able to shift time and that sort of stuff, you know, time and space. So it kind of makes sense to me. The names make sense. The general gist of this makes sense. But at the end of the day, you never really know with these rumors. I like what it's saying here. I like the idea of what we're being told and all the Gigantamaxes that could show up. All this sounds, in my ears, fantastic. But just because it sounds good doesn't mean it's real. So how likely is this to be real? Well, honestly, I don't know. There are a lot of people who make really good and convincing rumors and they end up being false, and then you have really dumb and kind of insignificant rumors and those end up being real, so you never really know. But I think this is a cool rumor, at least. That's all I'm gonna say. I think it's a cool rumor. Is it real though? I don't really know, and I don't really want to put like myself on either side. I'd say it's a 50-50 on this one, I'll be honest. That's what I feel about it. Unfortunately, there's really not any other proof. If it was like anything included here to prove it better, then I'd believe it more, but it's a 50-50 on me for this one. Then the final one we have is, of course, the one we read moments ago, which is the one about the Isle of Armor, and of course, the part 3, the Cinder Citadel. That to me sounds like so freaking cool. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. Like, this just sounds freaking awesome. Having like a third part where you go with a group to find like a fabled dragon and stuff, like this all sounds pretty awesome. So to me personally, this one sounds amazing. The way that he describes the way the Crown Tundra is gonna work, the way that the, you know, Isle of Armor, sorry, the Isle of Armor and the Crown Tundra, how they're gonna work, it all seems to somewhat make sense. So who knows? But again, an interesting rumor, but I'm 50-50 on it as well. I do hope it's real though. But yeah, that's that one, ladies and gentlemen. And yeah, that's basically it. So those were the rumors, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you did enjoy this video. If you did, then drop a like down below, and I will catch you all in my next video. Again, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to check out our sponsors for today, FPS Pro Shooter, which will be linked down below. And also make sure to, again, like, subscribe, leave a comment, and I will catch you all in the next one.